as I promised, special guest today is Justus, Thierry. What's happening, man? Welcome. You told me you was gonna do that. So welcome, brother. You all right?
Yes, sir.
Good. You're looking well, but you're always looking well.
Thank you.
No problem. So, I just want to have a little talk with you about a few things we had discussed prior to getting on the set, and it kind of piqued some interest. And then you have a little thing that's going on with you that you just launched, and I'm gonna let you talk about that too at some point, so we can get more people possibly on to the site. So I hope you know the site and all that. You gotta have all that information ready. All right. So let's talk about the quarantine, the pandemic, all that first. Let's kind of get that out the way because people expect us to talk about that. So how has that been for you?
It's been great. I would say that I'm one of the kids that would like to go back to school.
Yeah.
Because
I like how you put that one of them because there's not that many.
Because we've already been out summer vacation since we've been out since March.
Right.
And now we have to go back. Now we have to do our regular summer vacation, June, July, and August. And so I feel like it's just a lot of wasted time, and I'm ready to. And especially for me, because this upcoming year is my last year.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm ready to hit it out the park and close this chapter.
You see the graduation styles that they're doing now, the drive-bys, the graduates walking, standing up, and man, we're hoping that that's not you at that time, hoping we'll be past all this by that time.
It's kind of crazy because it was like my birthday is in October.
Right.
And so once you're born after September, they hold you back to the next school year. And I always was like, man, why? I wish I was born 15 days earlier,
right?
Because I could have been graduating this year. And I've been telling myself that the whole time. And it's crazy.
Here we go. And we were talking about that earlier. Yeah. You just never know what God's plan is, man. That's just outstanding. I mean, because had you been there, you'd have been in this whole era of the drive-by, the graduations and waving. No offense to those who have to do that, but by you being born, when you were born, it gives you that opportunity where things may have cleared up by the time you graduate.
Yes.
So what does that tell you about? I mean, what does that tell you about desiring and wishing that, oh, I wish this was different, or I wish this was this way, or whatever have you? I mean, what does that tell you about that?
I mean, I would say my grandma always told me never to wish for anything, because if you're meant to have it, you'll have it according to God. So, you shouldn't wish for anything, because what you're wishing with is sort of like you're telling God that He's not doing His best on you.
Yeah. So, look, God, I know you're God, but I wish you would do this a little different. Well, I feel like we sometimes think we know what's better for us than God knows. And I feel like sometimes we say, oh man, I wish this was happening so I could. And it's a selfish thing. It's always a selfish thing most of the time. And so we wish those things so that something can be better or different for us. But we got to fully understand that God has already orchestrated this thing. He knows the beginning and the end. He's already marked out your steps. He's ordered your steps, whatever have you. And so for us to wish something different than the direction that we're going to according to being children of God, it is asking for an alternate route of some sort. So I agree with you, Grandma. I don't know her, but I agree with her. So tell me about, I understand you like history. We were talking about that earlier too.
Yes, I love all kinds of history because I just like learning.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I was saying earlier, I'm not like every other kid. Mm-hmm. Most people be like, I don't like learning. Like I do like learning. I like learning about our history, learning about our past, learning about things that happened to get to where we are right now. Mm-hmm. So because my future is that I want to be a lawyer slash politician.
Okay.
So it's like I have to know everything that happened in the past so that what happened in the past doesn't happen again in the present or the future.
Cool.
That's why I like history, to know.
I like that. I was telling you earlier, I watched the program last night about a gentleman named James Baldwin, and very prolific writer and speaker, and I had never seen this before. I had looked at him about 2 weeks ago. I don't know why. I kind of looked him up for some reason. And then I just happenstance on this movie last night, and it was based on his depiction of the life and death of Dr. Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, and who else I said? Malcolm X. And so he was friends with all of them, and he was the elder of all three of them, yet he lived longer than any of them, not by natural causes, of course. And so I think that that's a good movie, for a history person. I think that that's a good one because it tells another side. We get Malcolm X was a radical. We get Dr. Martin Luther King was soft-spoken, even-tempered, and all that. And what about Medgar Evers? He was a activist and all that. But he tells it from the inside. As being their friends, as having certain time with them and all that, their children and everything, and I think it'll be a good movie for you, man. I would like to hear more about that once you look at it. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So I don't want to take up too much time just on conversation. I want you to tell me about this new venture. Tell the people about this new venture that you have, because I want people to check into that.
Well, I started a new clothing brand. We launched June 6th. It's called $1 Billion Vision. And so it just happened to come. It was in March. I'm in a fraternity. I was talking to two of my brothers, and we were just laughing and talking, and we were saying, yeah, what would it be if we opened up a clothing brand, a clothing business? And we didn't think that we was going to do it. Right. We were just talking, right. But we pursued it. And since we pursued it, we've been going great in the community, and so I just want to let everyone know that I have done that. So
absolutely, we're going to have that site and everything up for you. How does one get to purchasing or exploring your merchandise?
Right now you can go on Instagram and then just type in bdv.llc and just hit us up in the messages and we'll get back to you.
There you go. Are you shipping yet, or are you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool, man. That's outstanding. So you've started a clothing brand with a partner. You're interested in law, history. What else?
That's about it.
That's about it.
Sports and anything really.
Sports. So what sport? What sport do you play? Or like?
Basketball, football.
Okay. All right. So do you play that, or you just like?
I used to play them when I was younger.
Okay.
I used to play basketball a lot because my mom, she played for LSU.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the height.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. I got you. Cause she's a tall young lady. Then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she played for LSU, so it was kind of like drilled in me.
Yes.
And so I played when I was younger, and then I just stopped.
So was she any good? You can tell us.
Yeah, she was good. She was
That's good you said that because you're on camera. So
yeah, you good, Mom.
Good deal. Okay, so in any regards, we Cafe Talk is an opportunity for the young people to express themselves. I love it when they come in and you all are so full of life and energy, and you're just talking and you're just kind of telling about yourself. So I try to always ask some question that might make you sweat a little bit. I usually do. So some people they don't sweat behind it, but let's give it a shot. So you have siblings at home?
At home?
Mm-hmm.
No, sir.
Okay, so only child at home.
Yes, sir.
All right. How has it been with mom and dad, and y'all just clustered up in this house on a regular basis now?
It's been good. It really has. Like I wouldn't say I would cluster.
Yeah.
Whenever I go to and from my grandmother's house to
Ah.
my house, so
Okay.
it's like I spend time with my mom's,
Mhm.
my mom and dad, and then I go over to my grandmother's house, and then I go over have fun with friends.
Gotcha.
So it's like it's been good. Like quarantine to me hasn't been quarantine. I mean, I've been same lifestyle.
Just get a little break, you know.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. So let's talk about grandmama for a minute. So history. So some of the best history that we have be right there at the house with us. You know, our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, grandfathers. Have you been partaking in any of history from her?
Yes, she tells me a lot about her activism whenever she was younger. She marched with Martin Luther King.
Cool. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So, and she tells me a lot of things that the history books can't tell me. And she tells me firsthand experience and how things were back when she was growing up, and how life completely changed drastically because, she got married when she was 16.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 17.
Right. Right.
So it's like, when people hear that now,
Yeah.
people are like, no way. But, I mean, not to say that she's old.
Right.
You're very young. But it's like that happened 80 years ago.
Right. Right.
So, it's not that.
And he means that.
It's not that old.
Yeah,
But
yeah, right. So, okay, so we got a few more minutes. Let me ask you, on a little more serious note. What's your take on this? Everybody knows you have to have your head in the sand. And then if you had your head in the sand, you'd hear the crowd even from that. So, what's your, as a young man, history is one of your things, law is one of your things. What's your take on this craziness that's happening, man, with this young man that was basically murdered? What's your take?
I would say, like I was telling a lot of my friends, if you go look in the history book and you see wars that went on for about 300, 400, 500 years, and you ask yourself, how can someone fight that long? How can someone fight a battle for so long? But I would tell them that's exactly what us African Americans have been doing for 401 years, since 1619, fighting a never-ending war. And I think at this point we are tired of fighting this war. We're trying to bring an end to a war. And so I think violence is never the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't condone it,
Mm-hmm.
but I can see why, they've taken it to this extreme level because they're fed up. And it seems as if, like when Colin Kaepernick took the knee,
Mm-hmm.
they had a problem with peaceful protests.
Right.
And so now they have a problem with violent protests.
Right.
And so I think at this time, instead of concerning yourself with how we're protesting,
Mm-hmm.
concern yourself with what can we do to make this better?
Right.
What can we do to advance in society and put an end to this?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that.
I think it's more of peaceful protests, violent protests, black protests, period.
Yeah.
It's not protests, it's black protests, because
Yeah.
we've seen situations where we have our white brothers and sisters walking with weapons,
Yes.
and they're just simply either arrested, turned around, calmed down, whatever have you. So pretty much to me that's what it's displaying. I believe that we're going to, I believe something you said. You said we're tired. We're trying to end this. We're trying to literally get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that. What role do you feel? And this is my final question. What role do you feel you as a young person and others like you or in your age category? I mean, y'all young, y'all kids, y'all can't do nothing. I mean, how do you feel? I mean, that's the mindset of people. You do realize that. What do you think about that?
Like what is like you're asking? What can we do as young people?
What can you do?
Well,
Wait till you grow up.
right now in the world of social media, and social media is a very powerful thing, and social media is widely used by us young people. So I think we can get our opinions, our thoughts, and our actions out just like through social media. And I think it has a greater output than, not want to say protesting, but going out like what the older heads are doing, going into the street protesting. We can put our thoughts, opinions, and actions on social media, and it has a greater, because everyone looks at social media.
Correct.
And then if somebody, a lesser known person, can get their post seen or heard by I would want to say a celebrity, then they can repost that, and then another celebrity can repost that, and then you have all social media reposting this, and then it can get talked about at Capitol Hill.
I like that. One more thing. Have you ever seen, and you are how old?
17.
Okay, so you got some years on you. I've never seen in my time so many of our white brothers and sisters marching with us. I've never seen anything like this. You're 17, so to you it's like, I haven't seen this in the past, but while it may not be so bad, it may be, you can adjust to it, you can embrace it or whatever have you. And I can embrace it, but it's just a phenomenon to me, like having a black president.
Yeah.
You know that it's an amazing thing to have a black president because of the history that people have sown into your life, grandmother, your mama, and all that. I know it's amazing to have a black president because, well, we've never had one, and it's always been said we never would.
Yeah.
So, Mr. President of the future, because I think I heard you say you possibly want to you want to be a lawyer, possibly get into politics, which could lead to the presidency. So, who knows? Maybe you'll be our second or third black president.
Hopefully, God willing.
I love it. I love it. Please help me thank my guest, Justus, Thierry. Show look for great things out of you, young man. Thank you for joining us on another segment of Cafe Talk. We'll see you next time.